Ever wondered why you're always the last one on your priority list? It's like we're all in a bizarre race to see who can neglect themselves the most while running around taking care of everyone else. It's a strange paradox, isn't it? We become masters of caring for others, yet amateurs in self-love. It's high time we realize that self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's like putting on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup, can you? Here's a fun fact: you're not a superhero. Shocking, right? I mean, who knew you weren't an indestructible spandex-clad phenomenon, tirelessly battling the forces of evil without a single bathroom break? But here's the real kicker. We humans are a lot like smartphones. You know, those magical little devices we can't live without? We're constantly using them, draining their energy until that dreaded low battery warning pops up. And what do we do then? We plug them in to recharge. Yet when it comes to ourselves, we're not quite as smart as our phones. We push and push, ignoring our own low battery warnings. We put in overtime at work, skip meals, lose sleep, all in the name of what? Productivity? Success? But let's face it, we're not running on renewable energy here. We're not solar-powered superhumans. We need rest. We need self-care. We need to charge our batteries with a healthy dose of self-love. And no, that doesn't mean indulging in a 12-hour Netflix binge or devouring a tub of ice cream in one sitting, although no judgment if you do. It means taking time to nourish your body, to quiet your mind, to engage in activities that make your soul sing. So next time, before you try to save the world, remember to save yourself first. Have you ever considered dating yourself? No, I'm not kidding. Imagine you're sitting in a charming little cafe, waiting for your date to arrive. The door swings open and in walks you. Now, before you start questioning your sanity, let me explain. This is not about narcissism, but rather about self-love. Self-love is like being in a relationship with yourself. It's about treating yourself with kindness, respect, and a dash of indulgence, just like you would treat someone you're in love with. It's about taking yourself out to that fancy restaurant, buying yourself that book you've been eyeing, or simply taking a moment to look in the mirror and say, "Hey, you're doing a great job." Why should we do this, you ask? Well, think about it. If you're constantly criticizing and doubting yourself, how can you grow? How can you thrive? And more importantly, how can you build healthy relationships with others if the relationship with yourself is on the rocks? In the grand scheme of things, self-love is not just about pampering yourself. It's about recognizing your worth and embracing your authentic self. It's about rejecting societal pressures to fit into a certain mold and instead celebrating your individuality. So let's start a love affair with ourselves. Let's become our own biggest fans, our own cheerleaders, and our own best friends. Because let's face it, if you don't love yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? So are you ready to fall in love? With yourself, I mean. It's about time, don't you think? It's high time we all step up to the plate. And by plate, I mean the mirror. It's time to start a love affair with the person staring back at you. Now, before you start rolling your eyes, let me clarify. I'm not talking about spending hours in front of the mirror admiring your reflection. Nope, I'm talking about self-care, about showing yourself some much-needed love. Think about it. When was the last time you did something just for you? Not for your job, your family, or your friends, but for you. If you're scratching your head, then it's time for a change. How about starting with something simple, like a bubble bath with your favorite book? Or how about a dance party? Yes, you heard me right. Crank up the volume, shake off the dust, and let loose. Trust me, your body will thank you for it. Or if you're feeling adventurous, how about a solo trip? Just you, nature, and the open road. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? The point is, self-care doesn't have to be complicated. It's all about taking time for yourself, doing what makes you happy. So are you ready for the challenge? Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single self-care step. So put on your comfy shoes and start walking. And don't forget to laugh at the potholes along the way.